Hello friends, welcome back. Let us see the next topic, that is verbal learning. What is verbal learning? It is a process of acquiring, retaining and reproducing. Acquiring, that is getting, retaining, keeping it, and reproducing, that is replicating and utilizing the knowledge through words, language, symbols, signs and verbal associations. Okay, so it is basically acquiring, retaining, reproducing, and utilizing the knowledge through how? Through words or language or symbol. Basically, the way we talk. Okay, the way we talk, the way we use words is called as verbal learning. Now, it forms the foundation of the most formal education because every education, every subject that we deal with has certain kinds of words, vocabulary, pronunciation, language. So, it is a foundation of the formal education because teaching and learning largely occurs through spoken and written language only. So, verbal learning is very important. That is, in layman term, verbal learning means language learning. Okay, it includes activities such as listening, speaking, reading, writing, memorization, comprehension, recitation, that is telling it out loud, communication. Okay. So, verbal learning is defined as the acquisition, retention, recall, and application of the information that we have gained through words, symbols, language, and meaningful verbal associations. What are the characteristics? It is a language centered process. That means it is based on language. The word itself tells. It involves memory process. That means lot of mind work is involved, like encoding, storage, retention, recall and recognition. What is encoding? Encoding is whatever data you have seen, your brain will identify what it is. Okay, then it is based on meaningful associations. So learning that means establishing of logical and meaningful relationships among concept of concept and ideas, that is linking one idea with the other. Okay, it requires attention and motivation. Lot of attention and motivation, that is a push is required, stimulus is required. Okay, it facilitates intellectual development of the mind, and it is essential for academic development. Any subject you take up, let's say social studies, let's say mathematics, let's say science, everything has words in it, everything has language in it. So verbal learning is very much essential for academic learning. It promotes communication and social interaction. So this is the importance of the verbal learning, that is it develops communication skills, it facilitates academic success, it promotes logical thinking and reasoning, it strengthens the memory. You will learn a lot of words, vocabulary, so it will strengthen memory and it will help in retaining the information. It supports the social and cultural transmission, and it creates expression and imagination. Language, so you have to imagine what words you will first think in your mother tongue, then you will put it in English or whatever language you are reading in. Creative expression and imagination, and it will help learners acquire values, beliefs and attitudes. What are the various theories of verbal learning? Various scientists, psychologists have put in a lot of efforts and developed many theories. So first theory is association theory. So association, the word itself is telling. Association means linking. Okay. So learning occurs through formation of associations between ideas, words, concepts and experiences. That means a person will link words with concepts, ideas, will link everything and then he will study. Okay, what are the main principles? It depends upon contiguity and repetition. See, the more you repeat, the more you continue doing a thing, the more it will be the better it will register in your brain. Okay, if you read once and if you leave it, you will forget it. So it depends on contiguity and repetition. That means practice and repetition. A lot of practice is required. Frequently associated ideas are remembered more effectively. The more you connect known knowledge to the unknown, or the more you connect things and learn, connect one thing with the other and learn, the more you will remember effectively. Okay, memory improves when concepts are logically connected. When you connect one thing with the other thing, unknown thing with some known thing, if you connect, then you can improve your memory. Okay, what is the next theory? Meaning theory. The meaning itself, the name itself tells, it emphasizes that meaningful material is learned and retained more efficiently than meaningless information. Right? If you understand and study something, you will be able to read it for a long time. But whereas if you, if you by heart it, you will not be able to, you will not understand the meaning and you cannot remember it. Very, very simple. Okay. Anything which you find meaningful only you will be able to remember. Very simple. So meaning will enhance the understanding. So comprehension means clearly understanding the topic will improve retention of knowledge. Familiar concepts means the concepts which you already know are recalled more easily. Okay. Then the next one is reinforcement theory. Reinforcement means repeatedly doing something or doing something with some push, like prizes. If you get more prizes, you will get motivated to do more and more. If somebody appreciates you, you will feel like doing it more and more. You will get motivated and do it more and more. You put in a lot of efforts. Okay, that is reinforcement. Okay, it is based on behavioral principles. This theory states that correct verbal responses become stronger through practice, rewards, and reinforcement. Reinforcement is repeatedly doing something. Okay, and practice and rewards. The verbal learning will be better with reinforcement, practice, and rewards. What are the main principles? Repetition will strengthen the memory. Then positive reinforcement will increase learning efficiency. Positive reinforcement means the more you practice, the more efficiently you will be able to remember. Immediate feedback will improve the performance. That's very correct. No, when a student does some mistake and teacher immediately rectifies it, immediately gives feedback, then the student will be able to correct it immediately. But if the teacher gives after 10 days or after a very long time or gives a feedback after a very long time, then the topic will get diluted. Very simple. Okay. So this reinforcement theory is emphasizing the importance of revision. Revision is very important. Okay. Just reading once will not make you remember the concept. You have to again come back and revise. Cognitive theory. Cognitive is something related with the mind. Okay. This cognitive theory, it views that verbal learning as an active process. Okay. It is an active process. Okay. It involves a lot of thinking, understanding, organization, and information processing. Okay. What are the main principles? Learners actively organize information. That means they think a lot. They do a lot of activity in their brain and then organize the information. Understanding is more important than memorization. Very important for students. Okay. Simply if you by heart the concept, you will not be able to learn it. Okay. You have to understand the concept. You have to first understand the concept, then you don't have to memorize. Actually, if you understand, you will be able to write it in the exam. So understanding is more important. So previous knowledge influences the new learning. So this will help the person to form associations or form connections. Okay. Then the next one is Gestalt Perspective. Okay, what this Gestalt Perspective tells is learners will understand the verbal material as organized wholes. Wholes means a learner will understand anything as a complete thing. If you break it into parts, he will not be able to understand. So he will understand the learner. This means that a learner will understand whole thing properly. Rather, if you break it into parts, he will not be able to understand. So he will understand verbal material as organized wholes rather than isolated parts. Okay. Present. So what are its educational implications? One has to present lessons in a logical sequence. He has to emphasize relationship among concepts and encourage holistic understanding. What are the determinants of verbal learning? That means what are the effectiveness of verbal learning depends upon several factors. Okay, what are the factors of verbal learning? Okay, first, learner related determinants, something that is associated with the learner. First, learner should have intelligence. Okay, higher intelligence will help the learner understand words quickly. The learner should have motivation, interest, attention, and concentration. He should have previous knowledge and he should have emotional stability. He should be able to manage anxiety and stress properly. Then material related determinants. What are the determinants which are related to the material? That is a book. Meaningfulness. Okay, the material should be meaningful. Then properly organized. Familiarity. Okay, suddenly you should not include, you should not introduce new concept. You should first start with the familiar concept and then slowly introduce the new concept in the textbooks. Then length of the material. If it is very lengthy, no, students will find it very boring. They will not learn. Then difficulty level. Okay, it should match the difficulty level of the learner. Then teacher related determinants. What are the factors which are related to the teacher? First, teaching methods. Teacher should use proper teaching methods like project works, use of technology, such kind of things. And reinforcement. That means praise and encouragement should be teacher should continuously praise and encourage the students, which will motivate them. Okay, then teachers should have proper communication skills, proper classroom management skills. Then what are the environmental determinants? Physical environment, that is proper lighting, ventilation, seating arrangement, etc. Then social environment, positive peer relationships should be there. Okay, friends and other people should encourage the person. Then family support should be there. Then appropriate learning resources like books, technology, digital tools should be made available. Then what are the educational implications? This verbal learning, present meaningful and organized. Teacher should present meaningful and organized content. They should encourage active learner participate. Continuously they should reinforce. That means continuously they should praise the students and offer rewards. And then should create um, emotionally supportive classroom, and they should connect the lessons with students' prior experience. Then the students will be able to understand better. I hope you like this video. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe my channel and support me. With your support, I will do even more better videos. Thank you.